How's it going, everyone? Thanks for stopping by Moodog's Frugal RCs. Today we're in the research kitchen having a look at a 1/18 scale brushed motored vehicle by HoSPEED. Before we start the video, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by. All my subscribers, you guys rock. Anybody watching this that hasn't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel, guys. It really helps me out a lot. Doesn't cost you a penny, and you get all that cool information that I do the research for, so you can make an educated decision on your next RC purchase. So please consider that going forward, trying to grow this channel. I love you all. Also, guys, very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Healthy New Year, all that good stuff. So thank you, and Merry Christmas to each and every one. We're looking at a, again, 1/18 scale vehicle by HoSPEED. Now, this is sold by a bunch of different sellers on Amazon. I'll post a link for this one in the description in case you guys want to check it out on your own. It's a non-affiliated link, so I don't get anything from pointing you in that direction. The manual that comes with this is pretty decent, guys. It looks really nice. It's going to give you all the information to go from box to dirt or pavement as it is. Ready to run kit on this one, guys. All you're going to have to supply is the batteries for the remote, and I'll show you that in a second. This one is four-wheel drive, 2.4 gigahertz on the radio signal. This one has independent suspension all the way around in the form of friction shocks. This has a claimed maximum speed of 36 kilometers per hour. I haven't tested that. I do plan on getting a GPS speedometer going forward into the new year, so I'll be able to test that stuff for you. Ball bearings throughout on the drivetrain, and then you have a lithium ion cell battery, which is going to be 1200 milliamp per hour, and I'll show you that in a second too. So glossy stock on this one, guys, nicely laid out. All the English is pretty easy to understand in here, so the Chinese translation to English looks pretty good. We have all the information on how to charge the battery, included battery cells. This one's going to come with 2 batteries, so I'll show you that as well. Running your car, troubleshooting issues, all that good stuff on here, maintaining it. You have kind of a view of the vehicle here, and some of the parts on it are named, as well as the transmitter. You also have a parts grid on the pages going forward here. The parts are available for this. I'm not quite sure if Amazon has any availability on parts. I would think for something like this, you may have to go to like a Chinese vendor such as Banggood, TomTop, GearBest, one of those. You're getting a goodie bag with this, guys. You're going to have some spare body clips, a Phillips screwdriver, and it looks like some screws in here as well. Not quite sure what those screws, how those come into play, but they are in here, so kind of cool that we're seeing that. The charger that this comes with, guys, is going to be a 7.4 volt output with 500 milliamp per hour as far as the capacity per hour. So you're looking at probably about 2.5 or so hours to charge. 7.4 volts on this one, 1200 milliamp per hour lithium ion. You have a balance plug here for charging, and then a standard 2-pin for the power to the car. You're getting 2 of these too, so that's cool. The transmitter that HoSPEED is including with this is kind of a no-frills design on this one, guys. You don't have a lot of adjustability as far as steering, your trims go, but you have your steering trim up on top here, and that's digital, and then your on and off switch. The steering wheel on here, guys, is nice feeling, really nice dense foam covering on that wheel with a good return spring. You have your fake shark fin antenna. The throttle on here feels really nice, guys. No grittiness, no stickiness whatsoever. A little bit of a minimalist size as far as the distance on the pistol grip from here to here. So those of us that have maybe a little bit bigger size hands might find that you have to adjust your grip a little in order to use this, but not a big deal and not a deal breaker by any measure. On the bottom here is where the batteries go, guys, and there is a screw holding the battery hatch on. I would recommend using this one. It does seem a little on the loose side at times. So that pops open, and you would put your 3 AA batteries, not included, inside that bay right there. Pay attention, obviously, to your polarities. You want to make sure you're getting them in there the right way. And that sounds so ridiculous saying that, guys, and I've said it before, but you'd be surprised. First-time users, kids, that type of thing, don't always get that information right, and wondering why the vehicle isn't running when the batteries are in the transmitter the wrong way. So nice on that, guys. Taking a look at the car itself, you can see a really nice design design on this one. You've got really cool looking graphics. This one is called the Extreme Thunder. There are a couple other variants of this. There's a monster truck, and I believe there might be a truggy as well, but they all seem to have a weather theme about them. There's a storm, a thunder, and I think a hurricane is the other one. But really cool graphics on here. The charcoal gray, white, and red I think is really slick looking. We'll go ahead and pull this body off of here. This is held on by 4 body pins here, and I've already removed those. But basically, they just go through these little posts here to hold the body in place. So pull that off real quick. We'll set the car a little bit further back. The Lexan on here, guys, is nice, heavyweight Lexan. Very robust. I don't think there's going to be any reason to reinforce this with any Gorilla tape or anything like that. So feels pretty good, feels pretty rigid, but still forgiving enough. I'm liking this whole skeleton idea here to kind of give the body some rigidity and some extra strength. So very cool design on that. The roll cage seems to be pretty nice. Looking at the outside here, nice gloss paint. On the back here you have kind of a built-in spoiler, and then some lights. Now, everything on here is computer generated paint, so there are no stickers to worry about peeling off. There was no overspray film covering the body, so it came pretty much just as you see it. The attention to detail on the inside of the cockpit is pretty good too, guys. If you guys can see it or not, I'll try to zoom in just a little bit to show you real quick. You can see attention to detail in the body. We have a textured floor pan here. We also have your steering wheel, high back bucket seats. Looks like a nitrous bottle perhaps in the back here, along with the fuel cell. You guys can see that in the back. But nice detail on this, very cool looking. Looks a lot like a Latrax Teton body, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. This one is at about 50 bucks. The Latrax goes for about 150, so you can essentially get 3 of these for the cost of 1 Latrax vehicle. Go ahead and set the body aside for the time being and take a look at the chassis itself. More and more I'm seeing these kind of monocoque style chassis. This one has a pan on it, but you can see all of the components are covered up by plastic housings. Pretty easy to get at, I think. You're not dealing with a whole lot of screws, and it looks like all Phillips screws on here. You do have some adjustability and body height here, but I would pretty much leave it the way it is. There really is no reason to move anything around, considering the design of the vehicle body itself. 380 size brush motor. We have a 5-wire nylon gear servo. Steering linkage feels pretty fluid, pretty nice. All of the plastic on here, guys, is very forgiving, so it's resilient plastic. I think this is going to take a good beating and still keep going. Now the tires that this is coming with, guys, are just air filled. There is no foam filling on the inside. You're dealing with kind of a medium hard compound with this one, so the jury is going to be out on how this performs on different surfaces, but we're going to check that out in an upcoming video. Shocks on here, guys, are going to be just friction style shocks, so they feel pretty nice. Just basically spring shocks, a little bit of friction for the damping on that. These are replaceable. All you would have to do is measure from the top eyelet to the bottom eyelet, fully extended, and then try to mimic that size online, Amazon, eBay, wherever you plan on purchasing. Outdrive cups are actually the cups for the steering. Inside the hubs here are metal. It looks like we have plastic dog bones front and rear on this one, and there are going to be ball bearings and stuff like that inside here, inside the differentials. Now this drive shaft in here, guys, we can kind of get a glimpse of it right here, is in fact metal. I can see the silver metallic finish on that, so I believe this to be a metal drive shaft, but nicely built. It feels very, very solid, guys. It feels like it's going to take some abuse. It's got some weight to it as well. Now keep in mind there is a battery installed in here, but it still does feel very substantial considering what this is. The wheels are attached via nylock nuts on here, so these are removable with one of these type of tools here or a small socket. And I'm going to go ahead and take one of these off and see what size the hexes are. I believe these are going to be 7mm hexes, so in order to get any aftermarket wheels that are decent, you're probably going to have to go ahead and get adapters to adapt up to 12mm. Yeah, this is a little small, little 7mm hex on here, which is not bad, but it is 7mm, just so you know that ahead of time. Not a deal breaker by any measure. A lot of cars in this size are using 7mm hex. So go ahead and Tighten this back down. And I'll post a link in the description too, guys, if you want to change these tires out. I'll post a link for some adapters that I found on Amazon, and they seem to be a pretty good deal. So I'll do that for you guys as well. Go ahead and get this body put back on here. We're going to go ahead and power this thing up, get some batteries in the transmitter, and do a quick bench test on here, and that'll pretty much wrap this one up. All right, guys, per instructions in the manual, it's telling us to turn the power of the transmitter on first. And we'll get that going. You can see the red LED is flashing, searching for the receiver. So let's go ahead and turn the power on in the vehicle. Left-hand side of the vehicle, guys, underneath the Lexan here, you can see we have a power switch right here. We'll go ahead and turn that on. And I've heard the servo activate. Let's go ahead and test the steering on here, guys. So this is proportional steering, okay? Steering trim. You can kind of center everything there. Pretty nice. Check the throttle responsiveness. Full throttle there. Does have a brake. And a reverse. So that's it on that, guys. I think this is going to be a great addition to anyone's ground vehicle assault. I think it's going to be a nice value for those just starting out in the hobby, and just a good way to get going in a really cool hobby for not a lot of money. Batteries, it comes with two. The design of it is very, very nice, although it is kind of familiar looking. Everything is kind of minimalist on the transmitter, which is not a big deal. It's going to get the job done. You have a nice manual with this one as well, guys. We'll do some preliminary testing on it, start shooting the video for the Urban Bash, and we'll get that out in just a day or two. I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing helps me out a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. Please consider doing so. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you all in the next one. God bless the Republic.